Ladies and gentlemen, I hope wherever you currently are, you're sat down or strapped into something accordingly, because as it currently stands at half-time at the time of recording this, Huddersfield Town are winning a game. And now I'm sure we cut to the actual edit of this video, where they lost. So, yeah. So, what happened in the Championship this week? The big match that people were talking about was Leeds and Derby County. Derby held Leeds to a draw, but Leeds are now top of the league, and I do think, unfortunately, this is going to be their season. They are a force to be reckoned with. Oh, God. There is a serious chance that United are staying up and Leeds are going up with them. I can't. Potentially a surprise result in Wigan beating Charlton. As I've been speaking about in the previous chat, the Championships, Charlton have been doing quite well, and I'm quite surprised Wigan, who have been a bit iffy at this part in the season, not really convinced me that they're going to stay up. They actually get the win there. They were actually good for it too. It was a fairly even game, but they did have the better of the chances, and Dunkley, they've got him to thank because he bagged a brace that got them the 2-0 win at home, and it is a good win because Charlton are proving to be a decent side in the Championship so far. Preston beating Birmingham, kind of expected, but Preston are really kicking on this season, and my predictions, yeah, I might have done them a bit of an injustice there. If they keep it up, this might be the season that they actually get in the playoffs, and they could challenge for it. Swansea bottled it at Bristol, got a red card. They could be top of the league right now if it wasn't for that result. That is a poor result for them when they are trying to kick on. Bristol, though, not a bad side. You know, I've given them a lot of respect so far, and Swansea should have done a lot better. I did tip Bristol as outside challengers, and they are proving to be maybe just that. They are currently sitting in 6th. But Swansea, if they do want to get top 2, if they do want to kick on, that should have been a match that they are winning. But Bristol, a respectable team to get a point against, to be fair. Guys, if you support any other club other than Sheffield Wednesday, which, granted, a lot of you support Sheffield Wednesday that watch my videos, but if you do, please follow me on Twitter at dexteritybox and tweet me each week information about what's been going on at your clubs. I can watch highlights, I can read articles, I can do that trying to get information for Chat the Championship, but I'd so much prefer to have your input and you telling me what you feel about your club's result, how the players are working, a different sort of angle on what is actually going on at your club. Like, you know so much about a certain player, tell me how they're performing, tell me if they're underrated in this league, if they're overrated in this league, you know? I want to be able to talk about all of that in Chat the Championship and get your guys' opinions into this series. Because this is where I can talk about Sheffield Wednesday playing Diving FC. Sorry, Fulham FC. Now, it's a little bit of light banter, Fulham. Fulham, you're a really good side. Really good side. But why do you chuck yourself on the floor every 5 minutes? If you hadn't have done that and you hadn't had time wasted, you'd have probably seen out the game. You could have pressed and got another one. The second half is where you let yourselves down with the time wasting, where you could have punished us. But that's where we got back into the game, and the Kosovian prince, NUHIU, got us the goal in stoppage time, getting us a point, a very, very good point, even if it's at home. I'd like to see us do better, obviously. I'm a biased Wednesday fan, but a point I will definitely take because it keeps us on the right track. Gary Monk starts currently unbeaten. Huddersfield, Fulham, both of those could have gone either way. 4 points from those two, I'd have took that easily, and I'm happy with it. I don't think Fulham will be happy with it, though, and I think even some of their fans would admit, actually, no, I know for a fact, looking at Twitter, some of their fans didn't really like the fact that they didn't try and finish off the game. They were time wasting. I did read a lot of tweets from people that thought the same as this, though. They thought they should have finished the game off, and they didn't go the right way about it. Now, I like to do a little focal point of these Chat the Championship videos. I want this to be about other clubs, but none of you guys are sending me stuff in about that at the minute. I'd love to hear how, like, a Forest player's really underrated, and he's got all these stats and things like that, and he's scoring these goals, and he's going under the radar, not getting much coverage. I'd love to give coverage to clubs that don't get it. That's what I'm kind of doing here. But my focus today is going to be on Big Dave NUHIU, who I think we need to start putting some respect on this man's name. This is actually going to get me hate from the Wednesday fan base, because never have we had a player that's been so divisive in my generation of supporting Wednesday. NUHIU signed for us in 2013. He signed for us in my prime era of watching and supporting Wednesday, like my adult era. Because when he signed for us, it was my first year of university. So it was very much me being an adult and looking at this from a more rational perspective rather than a kid going to football matches and loving all the players. There have been times where I've got on his back, because when it's not going well, it's so easy to say, oh, we need better than that. But I'm sorry, guys, he's a player. He is somebody that we are quite lucky to have in the respect that he is a different option that a lot of clubs don't have. He's 6'6" and he can score goals. The tweets I was seeing were, oh, but he's been with us 6 years. He's not kicked on really. Guys, he's our second highest goal scorer, including cup games there, cheating a bit. But he's our second highest goal scorer in the 21st century. NUHIU is our second highest goal scorer with 44 goals in the 21st century. 34 of those coming in the league. Now, yeah, he's been with us 6 years. That's not great, is it? Let's be honest. But what you got to look at, guys, is he's been with us for 6 years, but how many of those appearances, granted over 200 appearances, but how many of those were 10-minute appearances, 15-minute appearances? From the bench, stick the big man on, can he get a goal? I'd say at least half, at least. NUHIU has never been one of our starters, really. And when he has started, yes, sometimes it's not gone to plan. But we have seen signs of a player in there, even if you don't want to admit it over time. Obviously, when he was looking for a contract, he became an absolute baller. And I reckon he's still got that in his locker. He's someone I've got a lot of time for because he respects the club, he loves the club, he's been with us for a long time. I'm sorry, but if you've been with the club for over 5 years now, and every manager has been loyal to you because you are a certain player, there's a reason why fans aren't football managers, guys. I know that's a common saying. Most of our managers, I think all of our managers, have used him in that regard. He is literally the big man you stick on to get you goals, and he can get goals. And unlike most big men, he's actually decent with his feet. Never used to be when he came to us, but that shows improvement. He's been working on it. I'm not going to preach too much about it, but I just think as a fan base, we need to start giving him a bit more respect. Obviously, it's very hard when things don't go your way to be positive when you want every player to be that pacey striker that's going to get you 20 plus goals a season. But he is an option that most clubs haven't got, that we have got, that I think we should be grateful for. And with his affinity to the club, I think we should support him. I think most rational Wednesday fans support him, but there is a lot of Wednesday fans that aren't rational. We know this, guys. But yes, I just thought he deserved a shout out, given his history with the club and the fact he has just got us a point at Fulham. It is the part of the video I am sure you've all been waiting for. It is time for the Score Prediction League now, guys. This week we have Alfie Hughes taking up the challenge. His first prediction was Leeds to beat Derby 2-0. That is an incorrect prediction. I can see why he thought it. Leeds were on a bit of a run, but Derby did get a very good point away at Ellen Road. He predicted Forest to beat Barnsley 2-1. It was a correct result, it was a win, it wasn't an exact, but that is the first one on the chart. He predicted Reading to draw with Blackburn, but Blackburn got a draw with Reading. It is not looking good for Reading at the minute, to be honest. That's something I should have mentioned. He predicted Brentford to beat Stoke, which is a fair prediction, but it didn't actually happen. Stoke managed to get a point away from home, and given their woeful form recently, that is a good point for Stoke. He predicted Luton to draw with Hull. Hull actually got a very good win away from home, which I wasn't expecting either. 3-0. At Luton. He predicted Cardiff to draw 1-1 with Borough. Didn't happen either. Cardiff did get the win there. He predicted Swansea to get a 3-2 scrappy win over Bristol, where as we mentioned earlier in the video, Bristol actually managed to hold them off, and it was a 0-0 result there. He predicted QPR to beat Millwall 1-0. QPR beat Millwall 2-1, so it was a QPR win there, decent. He predicted Charlton to beat Wigan, which I would have predicted as well, to be fair. But Charlton actually lost to Wigan, and Wigan got that 2-0 win. He predicted Preston to draw with Birmingham. Preston carried on their good run of form, and they got a win at Birmingham. And he predicted, how dare you, he predicted Wednesday to lose to Fulham, and Wednesday got the point because of the big man. So I'm much happier about that prediction there. And Alfie's correct predictions this week. He got 2 correct predictions, which puts him in our league. If you would like to join the league yourselves, guys, please make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because my templates go up in the community tab of my channel every week, and I say which games we're going to be predicting, and then they go in the Score Prediction League. Thank you very much, Alfie, for joining in this week. Thank you very much for everyone who's taken part so far. It's a good bit of fun, this. The league is really coming together now. As I said, guys, if you've got anything you want me to focus on in a Chat the Championship video, drop it in the comments. Tweet at me, actually. Tweeting at me is always a good way to do it. I'm trying to build my Twitter up for this channel at the minute. got a few of you on there that I'm chatting to at dexteritybox. Follow me there. But for now, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all those things, and keep watching right here on dexteritybox.